Hey guys, it's Miss Henderson here. So I'm glad that you guys made sure that you're watching our video for today. Just a reminder, for any updates or if you want to look ahead, all the resources are now on Schoology. If you go under courses, there is a 6Go7 math course there for you where you can go. I posted a page every day under updates letting you know what's going on, as well as to the materials. There's access to the file with the calendar, the Zoom code, everything that you need to do. So reminder, just like today, I will not be here tomorrow. So you are going to have another video with another IXL assignment. So please make sure that you complete that. I will see you on Friday with the at the same normal time using the same normal Zoom code. And if you need that information, it is on Schoology. So for those of you that haven't been with us the past few days, we've been working on percents, okay? And we did a lot of work in 6th grade this year with percents and what a percent is. This was before we went to digital learning, so it is kind of a ways back. So I'm going to kind of jog your memory today. Just to remember, a percent means something out of 100, okay? So if you get let's say you get a 50% on a quiz, that means you got 50 out of 100 questions correct. Or another way to think of that is maybe you got 5 out of 10 questions correct. Or maybe you got 1 out of 2 questions correct, okay? Even though a percent is known to be out of 100, it might not always be like this. Like, could you imagine if every time I gave you guys a test, I would give you 100 questions? It would take you forever. So what we do is we use equivalent fractions to help us. So if I give you a quiz that was 10 questions, and you get 5 out of the 10 questions, and I write a 5 out of 10 on your paper. Often students would come up to me and they'd say, but Miss Henderson, I want to know what my grade is as a percent. What does that mean? So you would take a fraction, you would make it out of 100, you would say, okay, to go from 10 to 100, I'm going to multiply by 10. I'm going to do that exact same thing to the top, and I get 50 out of 100. Because it's out of 100, we can say that it is 50%. Okay? So that is the key to remembering percents. So I'm going to do some practice problems with you guys today. One of the things I do want to remind you of is percent bars. We used did a lot of work with percent bars when we were in school. So just to kind of jog your memory, okay, percent bar is like a double number line. So you almost have 2 number lines right on top of each other, okay? In this problem, it says Nicole's tea shop has caffeinated tea and decaf tea. The shop serves 36 teas in all. So that would be where we would remember our whole. That's the total amount, okay? That represents 100% of what we have. 9 of the teas were caffeinated. The question is asking what percent of the teas were caffeinated. So on your double number line, 100% always goes in the bottom right-hand corner, okay? That's the maximum amount. If all the tea was caffeinated, that would be 36. That would be the total. So 100% is equivalent to the 36 tea bags that we have in total. Both of these represent whole amounts. One is just the whole amount written in percent form. The other is written in the tea bag form. So I'm going to write TB for tea bags. And then I'm going to put a little percent sign to remind us that the bottom line is percentages. So it says Nicole's tea shop has caffeinated and decaffeinated. The tea shop served 36 teas in all. So I have the 36 above 100%. Now we are focused on this 9 right here, okay? What you want to remember is think about, how do I go from 36 to 9? Easy. I divide by 4. 36 divided by 4 gives me 9. Same thing happens here. Whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. So I'm going to divide 100% by 4. And when I do that, I get 25%. Okay? So if I were to go to answer this, if 9 out of 36 tea bags had caffeine, that would make up 25% of the total. Here's another question. There are 72 students in Luke's grade. 36 of all the students are enrolled in health. What percentage of the students are enrolled in health? So again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my double number line. I'm going to recall that my percentage always goes in the bottom right-hand corner. There are 36 students enrolled in health, but there's 72 students total. So 72 is going to go up here. I'm going to remind myself that S represents a line with students, and that the bottom line is going to be my line representing percentages. So I want to figure out what percent is 36 out of 72. When I look at this, I might struggle and I might say, you know what, gosh, I'm really struggling. I can't remember how I go from 72 to 36. So that's okay. What you can do is, if you recall our magic percent, 1% will help us. But we're actually not going to do 1%. We're actually going to figure out one student. What percent is one student? So this is where we say, how do I go from 72 to 1? Easy. Divide by 72. If I divide the top by 72, I have to divide the bottom by 72. So now I'm going to use my calculator. So use your phone, use whatever you need. 100 divided by 72 gives me a really long decimal. I am going to round it on my page, but I'm going to keep it like it looks in my calculator. So in my calculator it says 1.38888, so on and so forth. I'm not going to clear my calculator. Now I have to ask myself, well, how do I go from 1 to 36? Well, I multiply by 36. So if I multiply by 36 on the top, in order to keep it equal or equivalent, I have to multiply by 36 on the bottom. So in my calculator, I'm just going to hit times 36, and when I do that, I get 50%. If you think about it, 36 actually is half of 72. 50 is half of 100. So we know that we've done this correct. So therefore, 36 out of 72 represents 50% of the students. Let's try another one. Eric Steiner sold 44 milkshakes last week. 33 of the milkshakes had whipped cream on top. What percent of the milkshakes had whipped cream? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my double number line. I know that percents go on the bottom. I'm going to put an M for milkshakes on the top. If all the milkshakes had whipped cream, that would be 100%, which would be all 44 milkshakes. Okay? But all 44 don't have whipped cream. Only 33 do. So I need to figure out what percent, okay, 33 is out of 44. So I'm going to figure out, well, what percent is one milkshake? So I always start 44 to 1. I'm just dividing by 44. And then for 100, I'm going to divide that by 44 as well. Sorry, I know that's hard to see. So in my calculator, I do 100 divided by 44. Again, I get a long decimal. I'm going to round it on my sheet, but I'm not going to clear it or round it in the calculator. Okay? Then I have to ask myself, well, how do I go from 1 to 33? Easy. 1 times 33 equals 33. If I multiply by 33 on the top, I need to multiply by 33 on the bottom. So now I'm just going to hit the multiplication sign, 33 in my calculator, and I get 75. So that means that the 33 out of 44 milkshakes represents 75% of the total. Next question. At a school carnival, 52 out of 52 tickets were sold. Tickets sold were early admission tickets. What percentage of the tickets were early admission tickets? All right, so this one we really don't have to do work, and you're probably going to be like, oh, duh, that makes sense. But I'm going to show you anyways. 100% represents the total. Oh, no. Okay. 52 out of 52 tickets. Well, there's 52 tickets. We want to know 52 out of 52 is what percent? Well, that's just like our pie problem. If you eat all the pie, you've eaten 100% of the pie. If all the tickets were sold out, then 100% of the tickets are sold out. So 52 out of 52 represents 100%, guys. You don't have to do any work there, okay? Last problem. The city council voted on a new tax. 42 council members voted in favor of the tax. The council has 84 members. So 42 were said yes. There's a total of 84 members. What percentage of the council members voted in favor? So I make my double number line. I have 100%. Okay. I know that there's 84 total members. So I'm going to write M for members, and I'm going to write the percent symbol for percentages. 42 said yes. I need to find the percent that goes with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find, well, what percent is represented by one person? So I say, how do I go from 84 to 1? I divide by 84. So I will do the exact same thing on the bottom. 100 divided by 84. When I do that, I get 1.19 long decimal. I'm just going to keep that in my calculator. I'm not going to round it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to keep it like that. Then I say to go from 1 to 42, I'm multiplying by 42. So I need to take this long decimal and I need to multiply this by 42. When I do that, I get 50, which makes sense because 42 is actually half of 84. So that represents 50%. All right, so today's assignment. If you need to go and rewatch this video, take notes, rewind it, fast forward, you do what you need to do. But your IXL strand for today is going to be 49B. You need to go to an 80% SMART score. Remember, if you're working more than 30 minutes, it's okay. Sign off. I will see. You should not spend more than 30 minutes on this activity. I will recommend that you get yourself a calculator, and I do recommend that you get yourself maybe some scrap paper because it is a little hard to write on the IXL page because there's not as much space with that drawing board as there is in Notability. And please check in for tomorrow again on Schoology, and you will see what work you are required to do.